Hey everyone. Welcome to Radiating Love with Roni Lipstein. Bliss to be here with you today on this, here in Toronto anyways, very temperamental day, but cleansing indeed. We've got lovely rain falling and the weather is not quite as cold as we thought that it was going to become after having such blissfully delightful weather. We had basically beautiful summer weather at the very onset of spring, which just kind of gives you tingles and makes you all excited that, you know, you're getting the warmth and the welcoming right at the equinox and solstice of spring that is that of summer. It's just like bountiful bliss. Yay! So, I thought for today's show, instead of focusing on one specific main subject, that we would look at a few different ones. So for today, to keep things moving along, I thought that we would focus on some insights regarding the law of attraction, relationships, and parenting. So there's a lot that's been said on the law of attraction ever since the movie The Secret came out a few years ago. And before The Secret came out, and before the law of attraction and the laws of the universe and all of these labels were being spoken of so routinely, which, by the way, yay! This is an example of consciousness expanding, of us being able to see how our universal family is actually evolving. The fact that so many now, it's second nature to say the law of attraction. Pretty much everybody knows what you're talking about, which is like so cool. However, before all of these labels and the standardized information to all, people were speaking about energy, because that's really what the law of attraction is talking about. It's talking about energy. And the reason that you have labels such as the laws of the universe, or universal laws, and laws of nature, so on and so forth, is because you are talking about an element, a natural element of our existence being energy, which happens to actually be the basis of all that is, ever was, or will be, including you and me. I know, what can I tell you? I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Okay, moving on. So, one of the things that we hear often with the law of attraction is that you want to get really detailed and specific with relation to what it is that you are seeking to manifest into your life. And then it is always paired with the wanting to have the feeling, very important, with relation to whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. How does it feel to you when you think about whatever it is that you're seeking to manifest actually happening in your life right now? So I wanted to take a moment and just talk about, and I think this is the right one, I'm not sure, we shall see, the law of attraction. And feeling and assisting us with respect to manifesting what it is that we're looking for, because it can get very confusing. There's a lot of leaders in the law of attraction field. There's a whole field of it now. And a lot of people say a lot of different things. So I wanted to just bring some clarity to assist us, because you have a lot of people who have watched The Secret, a lot of people who are reading books and what have you about the law of attraction and utilizing it, and a lot of people not getting very far. So here's a little ditty to assist. It is good to get very specific and very detailed about what it is that you are seeking to manifest. The reason, however, that it is good to get detailed and specific is not because you are expecting to manifest the exact thing in the exact way that you are looking to bring forward to you. It is so that you know what it is that you are wanting. It is so that you can give yourself the opportunity to take the time to allow yourself to truly think about what it is that you want, so that you can get to the next step, which is so that you can be feeling what it is that you want. So if you don't know what you're wanting, then you're kind of stuck in limbo, right? Like, where are you putting your energy towards? So first step is, what do you want? What do you want? Whatever it is. And it's good to not limit yourself. Sky is like, go beyond the sky, the universe, the cosmos. Make it as big and gargantuan and fantabulous and amazing and creative and magical and miraculous as you possibly can. And you want to sit with it. You want to cultivate it. You want to masticate on it. You want to spend the time and make it as amazingly, fabulously detailed as you can, because it brings it to your feeling experience. The more time that we spend with something, the more intimately we get to know something, the more realistic the feeling we have in respect to that something is. So we're spending all of this time getting detailed and specific so that when we are imagining that these things are actually happening in our lives, we can imagine it with feeling. We can really put ourselves there and like, how would you feel if, for example, you wanted, let's say, a new car, right? What does the new car look like, smell like, feel like? And then you can ask, what do you feel like driving that car, being in that car? Does it give you a sense of accomplishment, a sense of success, of stature, of confidence, bliss, happiness? What are the feelings that come when you imagine yourself in the car that you are seeking to manifest? The details assist in the feeling. That's the only reason that they're necessary, because then you want to let them all go. Because the only thing that you want to be holding on to, the only thing that's really important, where you want to be focusing your energy, is on the feeling. The feeling that you have when you are imagining you having what it is you are wanting. And let me explain why that is. Actually, we have a little screenshot for you over here, which actually transcends into other things that we'll be talking about, pretty much everything. But the reason we let go of the details and the specifics is because of infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities. Everything is unseen and unknown until it is seen and known. And even then, it's open to infinite perceptions and interpretations. Now, I will come back to explain that in just a second in more detail. But with relation to what we're speaking about in this moment in time right now, You've gone through the process of putting in all of the effort to allow yourself to get detailed so that you can get to the feeling, so that you can release the detail. Why? Because you may want a specific car in your mind in this now, and you may have the color picked out, and you may have the interior and the exterior and all of the hoo-haws and whistles and bells and what have you. And you really this is what you want. Except that there are an infinite number of possibilities that can occur that might bring you something that you never even pondered upon that you wanted, that will bring that feeling to you times a million. 111, just have to take a moment and put it out there. Thank you. It's 111 right now, sending forth the energy, embracing our highest happiness, all of the gifts awaiting our embrace, allowing them to manifest, coming into our lives. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So, back to where we were. What we think is going to bring us this feeling of elation is only what we're thinking in our very limited scope, right? We're only looking around. What if we haven't seen all of the cars that exist? What if the car that we're going to be winding up getting is a car that's a brand new model that we've never even heard of? But the happiness, the elation, the feeling that we will have when we get this car that we have never heard of before is not just as good as what we were imagining when we were imagining the car we thought we wanted. It is 1,000 times beyond it. So the point is that you don't want to limit what it is that you are asking for to manifest. Know what you want, but then be open to the infinite possibilities of how what you want may appear. Because things can come in a whole whack of different ways, disguises, manifestations, and we simply don't consciously have the ability currently to be able to ponder upon this infinitum of possibilities. We do, however, know the feeling of how great we're feeling when we're imagining us having what it is that we require and desire in our lives. That's the feeling that you want to be sending forth, communicating to the universe, to the energy, to the all, that you are wanting. I want this feeling or better. That is the message you want to send forth into the all. So you go through the whole process, you get the details, you get specific, you know exactly what you want so that you can get to the feeling part, because you want to feel it. How are you going to feel? And then that is the message that you send out regarding what it is that you want to manifest. I want experiences in my life that will motivate, inspire this feeling that I'm feeling when I'm thinking about that which I am desiring. And being open to the infinite number of ways that it can come, manifest into your life. All right, so checkpoint there. I just want to go back here for a second and just say a couple of comments about infinite possibilities, all being unseen and unknown. Let's start there. And then again, the fact that even when we know something, it's still an unknown, really. So, this is an important to everything else that we're speaking about and have ever spoken about or ever will speak about. We are taught and have been taught for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years that you know, you want to have stability and security in your life. And we try to do everything that we can to create a stable and secure environment for ourselves. The thing is, in truth, however stable and secure you may think that you have created your life, you've got a business that's unbelievably successful, happy family, stable and secure, great home, it's all paid for, car paid off totally, you got, you know, a summer home, you've got great friends that you make sure that you invest your time and energy into, and you go out and you're socialize, and you're really on top of things, right? And you're thinking, and you know, this is a great example of a stable and secure life. Well, the thing is, you really don't ever know what the next now is going to bring. The person who's been working for 20 years and thinks that they are set for the rest of their life in a job, and they've been going upward mobility, can wind up getting fired the next day. The business that they're working for can wind up going bankrupt. There could be a massive fire that happens in somebody's home and rips through everything. Someone who thinks that their family is so phenomenal suddenly is informed of information that they were completely unaware of regarding something their kids have been up to. Or someone goes on a trip and they have this enlightening experience, and suddenly everything that they believed to be important in their lives, everything they believed to be of value, is suddenly completely and thoroughly eradicated. And what their perceptions of life are totally inverted and inside out, and it's a completely different experience of life itself. So the truth, all of that to say, is that there is no security and stability and known. Everything is unknown. We live an existence that is infinite potential, infinite possibility. Every second, every millisecond, every second of a millisecond of a millisecond. Infinitum. Infinitum. Is there infinite possibility? So in truth, stability and security are nothing more than illusion. They don't exist. What exists in every single now is infinite possibility. And even within the now, when we make a choice and say, okay, I'm going to look here, and in looking here, I'm going to see something that I wouldn't see if I had chosen to look there. But in making the choice to look here, even when the seen is seen and the known is known, is it not? For what I may see and know to be that which I see over here may be a completely different thing that is seen and known by my friend sitting next to me. For even that which is seen is open to infinite interpretation, infinite perception, and therefore becomes infinite in what it can be. Changes the entire experience of that which we call life. So, again, bringing us back to the law of attraction. Focus on the feeling. Focus on the feeling that you want to be feeling. And if the feeling you're wanting to be feeling is a feeling of elation and bliss, and you're in a yucky situation, and you're feeling like things are just not going your way and it's not working out, find 5 minutes in your day to let yourself feel the feeling you want to feel. Even if you have to say to yourself, I'm making pretend that I'm not existing in this world right now, nothing around me is real, and I'm just going to let myself for 5 minutes disconnect from everything and just feel the feeling. Whatever you got to do. That, my lovelies, is how we bring forth more of the feeling we want to be feeling. That's how we use the law of attraction to manifest our highest happiness. Alrighty. So, before we move on to our next little ditty, our next insight, I am going to ask you all to enjoy this little moment, and then to please do share the love. So right below me around here, just below our little TV set, there's a little button where you can click on it. It's a share button, and there's a whole bunch of social networking sites that you can take this video and share it with all you know. Why do we do this? Why am I even doing the show? Because however much that we can do to assist one another, to shift ourselves out of the paradigm of thinking that is based in fear to one based in love, the more and more and more exponential shall be the effect upon all members of our universal family. Thus, the experience of our life shall be that much more rooted in love than in fear. And hopefully, eventually, energy sent forth always shall be an experience of love's light and our highest happiness. So before we went on our little break, we were talking about focusing on feelings. And now we are going to move from our focus on feelings to parenting. So, a little insight into parenting, and I was inspired to speak about parenting this week because we had touched upon parenting in our last show, single parents actually, to be specific, and dating with as a single parent, and how we find the balance with respect to our children, and how, you know, as much as we do our best to do our best, both as individuals and as we are discussing parenting here, with our children, we still do, as we go along our way, pass on things we would rather not. Which brings us to ancestral lineage and healing, as we are talking about parenting. So here's a little perspective, if you will, by which we may gaze upon our being here on this planet, insofar as how it relates specifically to our families. We all come from our own lineage, our own ancestry, right? Everybody has their parents who have their parents, so on and so forth. Your family tree, if you will. And in that family tree, you will find commonalities. For example, when you go to get an operation, they will ask you, what is your medical history? Why do they ask you this? Because even if, and not your medical history, in your medical history, they want to know what your family, if there is any medical conditions that have been passed on in your family, whether you have them or not. Why? Because there is the likelihood that you might at some point develop it, or you might have the genes within you that come from these from your ancestors of these certain medical conditions, whether again you are yourself displaying them or not. The same is true for our fears. Same is true for those things that we are here to heal. So, how does that work? Some of it is genetic, granted, but a lot of it is simply passed on by how we are being. Our parents act in a certain way, and by virtue of watching them, being affected by them, and learning from them, we take on aspects of each of our parents, both the good and the bad. Now, the aspects of our parents that we're taking on come from their parents, and their parents have aspects that they've taken on, that they've passed on to your parents, that has been passed on to you, that come from their parents, and so on and so on and so on and so on, infinitum. Infinitum, infinity. It seems to be a little, oh, what's the word that I'm looking for? Theme in today's show. So, we do, as parents, do our best to give the best that we can to our children, to provide them with the best lessons that we can, the best example that we can. However, as we said also in the last show, there are times that things happen and we make mistakes and we pass things on to our children, whether consciously or unconsciously, that we would rather not. Here's the thing. It's one of the reasons that our children, just like us, and our parents before them, and so on and so forth, and our grandchildren and their children after them, came to our earth school in the first place. We came here to take the bits from our parents, from our ancestral lineage, the good and the bad, so that hopefully the good that we have taken will assist us in healing the bad, so that each generation will get better and better and better. Which, of course, when you look at it from a universal perspective, especially with everything happening with 2012, and as we said at the very beginning of the show, you can see the evolution of consciousness of our universal family, in that the secret, the law of attraction, is like second nature to all. Well, we're all here doing this evolution, this transcendence, this expansion, this ascension, not just as a global family, as a universal family, not just in our ancestral family, but in our own individual lives as well. Now, here's the gift when speaking about parenting. Wasn't that cute? The gift is, if you are being consciously aware, okay, and you're watching your children as they are developing, and they are displaying examples of expressions that come from you and your partner, you can see the good and the bad being expressed. When you see the bad, you can assist your child to heal the bad. And you'll know it when you see it, trust me. We all know the things within ourselves that we would like to heal, the things within ourselves that we would like to release, let go, embrace and love. Things that we learned from our parents, and things that, we developed all on our own. And you can see them when they're being expressed by your children. And it is then that we are given this awesomely amazing gift to do one of the main things that we came here to do, which is not only to heal ourselves and our ancestral line moving backwards, but to heal ourselves and our ancestral line moving forwards. And we so do this by pointing out to our children, you know this thing that you learned from me? It's not a good thing. We do this by claiming ownership and responsibility for the things that we have chosen to take on from our ancestral line to heal, and we let our children know that. We take responsibility for it and we say, this is something that I'm wanting to heal, and I'd like to help you, and in so doing you can help me, and together we can help each other to end this right here, right now with us, so it doesn't carry forward in our ancestral lineage, because we're going to heal it right now. Because that's really what relationships are all about, which wonderfully enough takes us into our next subject for today, which is conscious, authentic relationships. So, the only way, obviously, that you are going to be able to assist your children or yourself heal anything, expand, be the you that you love yourself to be, choose to express the you that you love yourself to be, is to be conscious, aware, and authentic in your beingness and your relationships. There is a lot of romanticism, one can say, I suppose, about relationships. You know, you hear, there's a Hallmark card for everything, right? You hear, I'm looking for my perfect one. I'm looking for my Mr. or Mrs. Right. I'm looking for the one who is going to complete me, the one who is going to fill me, so on and so forth. And whilst these are beautiful, lovely accolades and sentiments, the reality regarding relationships is that you are not seeking someone who is going to complete you. You are complete all onto yourself. You are whole all onto yourself. And if you are not whole, complete, or feeling these feelings of wholeness and completion, individuality, independence unto yourself before you meet someone, honey, you ain't gonna feel it when you do. You cannot take someone else to complete you. You are taking something that is not yours to take. They are them, you are you. You go into a relationship and you are not whole. You are going into a relationship seeking someone else to do something that you, and only you, can provide to yourself. If you want to be in a relationship that is loving, you must be loving self first to so do. Our relationships are not in our lives to complete us. They are in our lives to expand us. We meet with others to journey a pathway together that is our own independent individual pathway, but we are journeying it together. Do you get the difference? You are not two people who become one. You are two people who are sharing a journey together, but you are two people always. And as two people journeying together. You are reflections of one another for the purposes of each individual being able to see themselves. For the growth that the individual will have will be unto self. It will be a growth based upon one's own understanding and recognition. Authentic relationships are relationships in which the individual is respected as an individual. And when there is a mirrored reflection of something that is not love, in an authentic relationship, both parties are hungry for healing. They are assisting each other. You are in each other's lives to be the best you that you can be. To mirror to one another lovingly where and how you can be the best you can be. Therefore, if in a relationship you find, for example, something that your partner is doing that is not loving, to be able to have open lines of communication where you are able to express authentically, honestly, what you are seeing in the mirror without argument, without feeling the need to be defensive. You are engaging in a conscious, authentic relationship. This does also mean that when we are expressing what it is that we are seeing in the mirror, if it is not something that we see is loving, that we are expressing it lovingly nonetheless. So for example, and to make this more grounded as opposed to metaphorical, you are in a relationship with someone and you were supposed to do something together and they wound up bringing somebody along that they did not let you know about in advance, and this really upsets you and you would like to communicate this with them. How do you communicate this with them? Yelling and screaming will get you nowhere. It's just fear on top of fear. So you would lovingly communicate to them, this is what happened, this is how it made me feel. Can we discuss it? Can you explain to me what your thoughts and motivations were? Can we see why I was feeling what I was feeling, why you did what you did, and how these perceptions and interpretations that we each have created the experience that resulted from what occurred. And together, lovingly, figure out a way to come back to a loving feeling and beingness in completion, holistically. This is authentic, conscious relationships. This is what we are wanting to be in. This is why we are here with one another together. Not so that we can get wrapped up and make someone else's life our life. We are here to assist each other to be the I and me we love ourself to be. Hi, Hala. Mwah! Thank you so much for coming out and joining. So, I think, wasn't that fun? Aline just showed me all these fabulous ways that we can play. I think we have covered the law of attraction, relationships, and parenting to the extent that we were looking to so do for today. So if anybody would like to add anything that I can share with our wonderful audience, please do feel free. Right next to me over here, there is a chat and a social stream tab by which you may communicate with me right now, right here, live, if there's something that you would like to say. And again, actually not again, but I would like to just put up a couple of things. Here we have our Souls Talking Brain show, which this is the Souls Talking Brain show on Facebook, where you can join us. And Souls Talking Brain is our other show, which I do with my